So the 2017 regular season concluded yesterday, and multiple teams went on firing sprees. They took out their anger of not making the postseason on their head coaches, and now we have 4 head coaches that are jobless. Starting with Jack Del Rio, he got fired by the Oakland Raiders.
Big shock.
Yeah, for real.
Big shock.
So, David, do you think Jack Del Rio deserves to get fired?
Yeah, he does. Like, all right, you had a pretty good winning season last year, but at the end of the day, I mean, like, that team, high expectations. Like,
Yes.
they picked up a very good defense. That defense was probably one of the top 10 defenses when they went, what'd they go, 12-4 last year?
Yeah.
That was one of their top tier defenses, and all of a sudden now,
Khalil Mack, the defensive
Khalil
back
Mack,
here.
he was a beast.
Yeah.
And now they have nothing. And now they have beast mode in there. It's like they got beast mode and they were terrible.
Right.
It's like they flipped the bed. They're terrible. They need to kind of rebuild that team. Derek Carr regressed so much.
Yeah.
I give him the whole back injury at the beginning of the season, but he regressed a lot.
Yeah, he really did.
Michael Crabtree, the whole.
Amari
I feel
Cooper.
like
Amari Cooper can't catch a ball to save his life.
A lot of people on that team regressed. I feel like they just got hot for that one season, right? And now, like, they need to rebuild.
That's the thing, though. In 2016, they went 12-4 after being in the basement for so long.
Exactly.
10, 12 years.
Right.
And then 2017 comes on, and they go 6-10. Now all of a sudden they fire him. Like, they need to be consistent. They need to stay with the same person. You have one bad year, not bad, but one mediocre.
It was 7-9 7-9 in 2015. I mean, like the 2015 7-9, 2016 12-4, 2017 6-10. I mean, like, all right, that's just like slow grandpa heartbeat. Like,
So
he's
you-
just holding on.
So you
he's
fall off a bit.
He's Andy Reid. He's just giving you enough to say he's a good coach.
Yeah, that's true.
He just gets you to where he gives you that one season. You're like, oh. And then he just let. All right. 12-4. All right. We lost somebody else. Oh fuck.
And the thing with them losing the playoffs, they didn't have Derek Carr. He
Oh,
got
yeah,
injured. And then their backup got injured, and then they played their rookie Connor Cook or something.
Connor
like
Cook. I remember watching him in Michigan, and he was way better in college.
Yeah.
He went 25-23 overall with the Oakland Raiders, and which comes out to a 52 winning percentage. So
I mean,
That's not very high, bro. I mean,
but did he deserve to be fired? I don't really think
See, the
so.
thing with him
I mean,
getting
like,
fired,
all right. I guess when you make it sound like that, it's a little harsh, but still, I mean, like, we're trying to win football games. We're not worried about people's feelings.
But the thing with him getting fired is, I read an article, and it was talking about how if John Gruden is willing to come back, the Oakland Raiders will fire Jack Del Rio. And now I'm kind of thinking that John Gruden's going to come back. And he's a pretty good coach if you know anything about football. He won a Super Bowl, the only Super Bowl that the Buccaneers have. He is in their Ring of Honor, and I think he could do big things with the Raiders. They have a talented team.
Yeah,
they just need someone to put it.
Jack Del Rio isn't a bad coach. Like, I don't know his previous coaching jobs at all.
Yeah,
I mean, but I don't.
For that,
I don't. I mean, like, maybe he could also go to college. You know, coach maybe a few college teams. I know there are a few college teams are looking for
could follow Chip Kelly.
on your
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, go to UCLA.
You can do. I mean, you know, like you. I don't think he's a bad coach.
No,
But I think he was a bad head coach of the Oakland Raiders. I think he's one of the worst.
But
if he goes, I mean, he went 12-4 one season, so he obviously did something.
All right, like you did exactly. That's what I'm saying. That
Yeah.
12-4 season shows me that. And if you saw him coach that 12-4 season, like he was one of probably the best head coaches that season, and you see that, you're like, all right, like that could, that's showing some hope for the dude because he's not a bad coach.
Yeah, he was a Coach of the Year candidate.
Exactly. Like he's not a bad one. He just is a bad one for the Oakland Raiders.
what actually surprised me, moving on, is when I was looking up the stat, I found that former Indianapolis Colts head coach Chuck Pagano. I mean, he has a higher winning percentage than Jack Del Rio at 55%. He went 53-43 overall. He just went 4-12, and he got fired this morning as well. And see, someone like him, I completely understand going 4-12 because
They
the
have a lot of
one
injuries.
Andrew Luck, the guy
They have
he
a
was
lot of
expecting to
injuries.
start for him,
Yeah.
got hurt. They picked up Jacoby Brissett. You cannot expect him to learn the whole playbook, so you have to adjust, obviously.
Yeah, no, they picked him up mid-season,
And that was a good pickup too.
Yes.
It was a
He
good
did
pickup.
pretty good.
But
won
I
them a
mean,
few games.
you can't have the same success as you would have had with Andrew Luck just because of the lack of experience.
All right, but how's that offensive line? Exactly. Yeah, I mean, like even the years when they did have Andrew Luck, I mean,
Yeah.
they're still a
He was
mediocre
getting
team.
crushed. He was getting crushed
Exactly.
because that offensive line is trash.
He's a physical quarterback. Like he has to be a physical quarterback with an offensive line like that.
Yeah.
And and Jacoby Brissett is some sort of a physical quarterback.
Right.
And so when you tell me that, like, oh yeah, it would have been completely different with, what's his face back there,
Luck.
Andrew Luck back there, I don't see that because you know what, like that offensive line, I don't think still could block anybody.
I think they could have won few more games.
Yeah,
I
no,
give
they
them
did
like 2
4.
more games, but still, I mean that's not for the
Possibly
season they're looking for.
right. They're not gonna
They're
make the
looking for a
playoffs.
Peyton Manning type season when they're gonna get more of a Cleveland Browns type season. They're mediocre. They need
Yeah.
to fire somebody, and they can't fire their quarterback.
Right.
And
You got to be held accountable for your terrible season.
Yeah.
You have to.
still,
Yep.
like they went 8-8 last year, and you have an excuse this time. With
Yeah,
Jacoby.
they're all right. Look, all right. I'm sorry, but like at some level, you have to be held. Like it just shit happens.
Yep.
All right, it just happens.
He's
Like
gonna be able to cope with it. I mean, that's what they pay him.
you have
All like
he
millions
gets
of dollars.
paid millions of dollars to coach a head team to win games. All right, and to sit here and tell me that like, oh, like something happened, it's okay. We'll give you a try next year, a couple $100 million, when they could also save that money they're paying that dude and hopefully put that money towards a whole new offensive line.
Right.
Beef it up a little bit more. Because if you give Andrew Luck the time, he could be an elite quarterback by now. He could be one of the elite.
And you look at the new coaches in the league, like Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, see what they're doing. It just shows you that there is people in here that are offensive coordinators like Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
Todd Haley, the Steelers offensive coordinator, that could do something that could really change a team. Like Matt Patricia.
See, but look, you name, all right, so you talk about the Patriots and the Steelers offensive coordinators. You don't see those two teams, unless those teams, I see the Patriots offensive coordinator going somewhere,
Yeah.
because that, you got 40-year-old Tom Brady, like, that team's going to be tanking soon. I think, because with Brian Hoyer, you could only do so much,
Right.
But, I mean, like, you look at the Steelers, I mean, like, after Big Ben, I mean, you still got insane weapons. You still got AB, you still got Le'Veon Bell, you still got Martavis Bryant, you still got Juju Smith. Juju Smith is talking about retiring in Pittsburgh. So
Yeah.
you got some studs at all positions, so you just got to find a new quarterback.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't think those offensive coordinators would go anywhere, but I mean, like, you just need to get in the market. Back to the Colts, they need to get in the market for a new coach. And
Both the Patriots coordinators, offensive and defense, have been taking interviews for the past 3 seasons. So
Right.
Yeah,
both
but
of them
they're-
are planning on leaving soon.
because they're smart enough to know that when Brady retires, that whole team's they're all gonna find a nice room, smoke a couple cigars, and just reminisce. Because
Yep.
they all
Yeah.
have this same idea. They're all like, yo guys, let's build a dynasty for like 5-10 years, bro. Win possibly 6 Super Bowls, because you know what, that Patriots team is a scary team. At the end of the day, they're
It is.
probably every year they are a scary team.
Yep.
They're probably a pretty beat up team right now. But with the 2 weeks off right now,
Right,
they're
they
gonna
get
get
the
it. They're gonna get healthy. You're gonna get a few people back, but
And then we have the Bears head coach, John Fox.
No, he deserved to be fired.
He did this.
Whoa.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
deserved to be fired.
Okay, so he went 14-34 with Chicago. That's a 29% chance of
you
winning.
have who do they
Yeah.
have as a quarterback though? For like,
They have a rookie Mitchell Trubisky, and
Oh, no,
for all you know, he
did
could.
they?
They had
didn't
Jay Cutler, bro.
Yeah, they had Jay Cutler before.
They did.
That was sad. I was like, I know they had
Jay
trash on
Cutler.
that team. I mean, you can only do so. All right.
I mean-
That was a lot of Jay Cutler's fault.
For all we could have known, he could have had plans with that offense. He just drafted a rookie quarterback who I think he could succeed in Chicago. I think he has a chance. I don't think he's a complete waste of a draft pick.
No, he's not.
For them, they are. But I mean, as a quarterback,
Okay.
for them, no, they could have used that draft pick
no,
for
no.
something way more productive.
Well, I mean, if you look at the way that Mike Glennon played, he was not going to be their starter. Mike Glennon was not going to be the starter.
They wanted to keep Trubisky out just so we can learn the playbook a bit more.
Right, but the thing that confused me was them trading up one pick to go to the
That was a
place.
bad move.
They traded away like a second and a third round pick just to go up one pick. And the Niners were not going to take a quarterback. Like,
Yeah, but you know what? That's one of those things where like, oh, we're not going to take one. We're not going to take one. They could take one.
no, yeah.
I mean, we never know. But I mean, like that. Like,
Right.
when you think about it, it was like they saw Trubisky. They got gun ho. They jumped on him
Yeah.
way too quick.
Yeah.
And then it was one of those things where it was an impulse buy.
Yeah.
It was an impulse buy. You know.
Yep. And the thing with the draft too, the Browns, they have to draft a quarterback first. If they don't,
Why
if
are
they
we trying to
don't-
get the Browns? This is why the Browns are trash every single year because all they do is draft quarterbacks and they get trash ass
No,
everything
they-
else.
You need to stay consistent with the
The
same players, possibly the same coaches if they do fair. And that's how you build your team. You can't just
Exactly.
after
You
3
have a
seasons,
good quarterback. It's a rookie. What do you expect?
Deshaun Kaiser.
He's not going to win a Super Bowl his rookie year.
No, I want to see his
The-
stats.
and you
I wanna
guys,
see
they
his stats.
won
He's
mad
bad.
preseason games. All right, think about it. He is a backup quarterback to win. Like they're supposed to play in the
He
preseason,
looked
right?
great in the preseason.
Exactly. That's what you want to
Hey, look at
see.
this.
You want to groom him.
They almost beat Pittsburgh in the season opener. And,
John Gruden is
and-
most likely going to be the Raiders' next head coach.
Exactly.
Yep.
and one more head coach that got fired yesterday was Jim Caldwell with the Lions. He went
That
30.
surprised me.
That does surprise me. He has the highest winning percentage out of all of them at 56.
They
And-
just could never find anything.
Like-
Like they're a good team every single year. They're a pretty good team, and everybody puts them in with the playoffs. And every single year, something happens to disappoint. They're a disappointing team.
Here's the thing with the Lions, though. They overpaid Matthew Stafford, I think.
Yes.
And I've watched the Lions, and every time I do, I get a headache because like there are so
Yes.
many drop passes that could turn the game around.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
There are people wide open. They drop passes, or like it's a quick screen pass.
It's also Matthew Stafford. I mean, like
It's
the dude,
annoying.
the guy has an arm.
Oh,
he
has
has
a
a arm, but is it accurate? No, no.
It's like the Lions are like you want them to be good every year, but then they're just not. And plus, they're
exactly.
they're in the same
mediocre.
they're in the same division as Case Keenum and Aaron Rodgers. Like they're not going anywhere.
No,
They are not
might,
going
They
anywhere.
might sneak into the playoffs in the wild card round once or twice, but they're
That's
not
what I'm saying,
gonna-
bro. They're
They
gonna
could have had a chance.
Yeah.
they're gonna get there, but like you know they're not making it to what you want them. You know they're not gonna go to the Super Bowl. So like, and you know they're probably not gonna make it to the divisional round.
Yeah, no.
You're gonna be lucky if they make it to after the wild card round. Like
They'll be sitting at home with Andy Reid just like every year.
every year, right?
Every
I'll be
year.
there. I'll be there in 2 weeks, right?